Hey, this is Matt. Once again, what about you in the video? This is the paid request, this time for Nate. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, it could be a commentary, it could be a review, it could be a reaction, a topic, randomness, out of the blueness. I will try to get to it as soon as I can. Thank you for that. And you just send it either directly to PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box under each of these videos, right down there. Now this is going to be a video I'm sure is going to be very against the grain. Time Bandits is a very beloved movie, directed by Terry Gilliam, came out in 1981. You got Sean Connery, may he rest in peace. You got Ian Holm, may he rest in peace. You got David Warner, may he rest in peace. A lot of good actors just no longer with us. Very sad in a way to watch this film. I gotta be blunt, I just have to be honest, I've never been a fan of this movie. I don't think it's a bad movie in terms of, I don't think it's badly made. There's some interesting visuals, whether it be when they're in the boys' room and they find this portal and they're pushing the whole wall of the room and done all practically. And you see the room's getting bigger and bigger as they're pushing this wall down this, now a corridor. Or they're on this ship and you realize the ship is attached to this giant as the giant comes out of the water and is walking around with this ship on his head. Bits in the finale where they're dangling over this endless mass pit of darkness and they have to find a way to escape and they're swinging from one to the other because they're in a cage, and then you get to this cage, there's something underneath. There's some nice solid visual aesthetics to this. The acting, the kid, I forget his name, the lead kid, I thought for a kid that never acted before, really didn't do much of anything afterward, I thought he did fine. I didn't think he was annoying, I didn't think he was irritating, I thought he had the right sense of innocence to him. I wouldn't say naive, but just innocence, and you get bits of him that he's interested in history and he's really enjoying this trip regardless of the danger. I think the best parts is when he's with Sean Connery. Sean Connery has, I wish he was in the film more, honestly. I really do. He's in it kind of in the middle where he plays Teen Agamemnon. The kid saves him, and then, you know, Sean Connery just had that charisma, had that presence. You know, there's a reason why he became so successful as James Bond, and you see him in The Rock, you see him in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Sean Connery just really worked as an actor, as a presence. My favorite is Outland. That's my favorite film that he's done. Love Outland. Criminally underrated in my opinion. And you tell that the kid, because his parents weren't really that good and didn't pay attention to him, he likes it here. Not only as a history fan, but, you know, Sean Connery's acting very nice, very cool. Ready to adopt him. And he's going to be the son of a king. And then these assholes, you know, take him away and he wanted to stay. Ian Holm as Napoleon, David Warner as the evil incarnate. David Warner's having a bit of fun. He's also something I did quite enjoy. I like Sean Connery as little as he's in it. I like David Warner. Ian Holm, may he rest in peace. He passed away sadly a few years ago. David Warner just passed away recently. I mean, just sad, those three guys. All good actors. But even as a kid, I remember watching this as a kid and just never, whether because I'm not a Monty Python guy, and Terry Gilliam's very much with Monty Python, whether it's because I'm not really a Terry Gilliam fan, I'm not a fan of a lot of his endings in movies. I don't mind 12 Monkeys, but I'm not a fan of the ending. I mean, my favorite film of his is Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That's really the one Terry Gilliam film I truly enjoyed. like I said, Monty Python movies are not really my cup of tea. I mean, I could watch the Holy Grail one, but it's not something I loved. It's just not my sense of humor. I don't know how else to put it. So I don't know if that's part of this. Also, as much as the little guys, the Time Bandits themselves, I don't think the actors did a bad job. One of them is Kenny Baker, who, may he rest in peace, but he was in the R2-D2 costume in the original Star Wars films. They weren't bad actors, but I didn't really care about them as characters. I didn't care about their trip. I didn't care about their journey. I didn't care if they won. I didn't care if they lost. I didn't care if they died. I didn't care if anything happened to them. I think that's the thing for me is, and people disagree, and that's, hey, that's fine. Won't be the first or last time. I can only give my honest opinion. That's all we can do. I don't think this film has much of a heart to it. And people go, what? It's like, I don't think this has much of a heart to it. Because what heart am I getting out of... When I look at time travel movies, people will make fun of me that I bring up Time Cop. Yeah, I enjoy it because I'm an action fan, I'm a Van Damme fan, but I also got a heart because I felt a heart to that story of this guy who lost the woman he loved, and she was even pregnant with his kid, and he didn't know that till later in life, and now is his second chance that he didn't know he was getting. You look at Back to the Future, that time travel story, and that's a story where ultimately it's about his family's in one state of affairs, and then because of his weird trip, now his family is in a better state of affairs, as well as we see the bond between Martin McFly and Doc Brown. That's the heart of the film. When you look at Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, you look at the heart of Bill and Ted. I mean, yeah, they have this weird, crazy, unbelievable journey to go through time to get historical figures for a book report, but you see the heart between these two characters, and so when Bill thinks Ted died, you medieval dickweed, and then you find Ted's alive, and you know, the way they talk with each other, there's a nice heart to that. I'm not saying it does help. I'm not saying there are time travel stories that I do enjoy that maybe have less heart to it, but I don't feel that in this movie. I think the little kid is doing the best that he can, but you just feel sorry for him that he's with these assholes. And it's not the actors who are assholes. These characters are unlikable assholes to me. So I don't care about their journey. I don't care about their wish to rob through space and time because they worked for God, or as they call them, the Supreme Being. And their job was to fix holes in space and time. But they realized they could go through this and rob. I don't know what the fuck they're going to do with that. I mean, you have a map to go through all space and time. If this is God, the Supreme Being, what do you think you're going to do? You don't steal this shit and then what? Go to Bahamas and the Supreme Being's never going to find you? He's going to find you no matter what, because that's what keeps happening. He keeps finding you. So now you're on the run forever. I guess they just, hey, we'll go here. Even the whole plan seemed very flawed. The whole plan didn't seem like a plan at all. Okay, you don't rob all this shit. Well, then what are you going to do? Where you don't go? Nowhere. Because the Supreme Being is going to eat you just like Arnold eats green berets for breakfast. And he's really hungry. So their plan is fucked up. And sometimes they act so stupid. They're in the fucking bedroom and they don't realize that the kid's fucking flashlight is a flashlight. They think it's the Supreme Being for a bit. I mean, for people that gone through space and time fixing them as part of their job, they don't know what the fuck a flashlight is. Or at least take some fucking long to figure it out. I mean, the first bit of business they get into the kid's bedroom, and when they find out it's a kid, they're ready to fucking manhandle them. They're ready to fucking... They lift him up. They're ready to beat the shit out of him. And this is a little kid. Maybe they're jealous of his height. I don't know. Talk about the characters, folks, not the actors. But goddamn. So I'm like, okay, they're ready to beat the shit out of this kid who did nothing wrong. You entered his fucking bedroom, numbnuts. You entered his jurisdiction. You should be glad he didn't pull a fucking shotgun. Well, what I'm talking about, they're not gonna have a shotgun, but you're fucking glad. Try that on some shit in America. There will be kids in America, especially in the South, that will have a shotgun and blow their fucking heads off and be diplomatic immunity or self-defense. Defense. Try pulling that shit in Texas. Get your head blown off. But they bully the kid, and like, you bust into his room, you assholes. And again, the kid has a flashlight. They can't tell the difference between a flashlight and Supreme fucking bean. Then pretty much the Supreme Being does get there. They escape from the wall thing, and then they're on their journey. And I just, it's labeled as a comedy. I didn't find the film that funny. Again, maybe because my sense of humor is just different. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I look at my favorite comedies. They involve The Golden Child, The Big Lebowski. They involve, I'm trying to remember, I like Friday, I like Harold Kumar, Go to White Castle, I like the first Clerks, that's when Tim Smith was worth a crap, I like See No Evil, Hear No Evil with Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, I like Three Men and a Baby. I mean, those are some of my all-time favorite comedies. There's action in it, but I like Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, there's other ones I like. Ghostbusters. Like, Ghostbusters is a film I can watch and enjoy and get laughs out of, but I still get a bit of good heart to it as well. I care about those characters. I don't care about the Time Bandits here. You don't really get to know them. You don't get to know anything about them. I mean, I'll give the film this. It's not boring because it's going at a pretty fast pace, but it's at such a pace that you don't get to know any of the bandits. You don't get to know any of them. There's no downtime to, other than the exposition of they worked for the Supreme Being and they decided to steal it. Even the kid, I mean, you get a little bit at the beginning that his parents don't pay attention to them because they're worried about what's on TV. And a little bit that he's into history because he knows a bit of stuff. And that's why I said the bit with him and Sean Connery seemed like the best bit, because that's the only time the film finally slowed down. And I love fast-paced movies, but this, again, number one, how you don't escape if this God will find you. And with the kid and the Sean Connery, I would like to have seen more of that. Maybe more conversations about maybe the kid talking more about his parents and what kind of people they are, but here's a guy he just met and he's paying attention to him and listening to him. But spoiler alert for all that happens in the movie that people haven't seen it, don't know. They visit Ian Holm as Napoleon. Okay, he's short jokes. I got more laughs out of Napoleon, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. As silly as it is going down the fucking, slide of the water slides. I got more out of that Napoleon. Petey weedy, petey weedy. I'm smiling just thinking of that. And I much prefer that movie over this. So you got the Ian Holm as Napoleon. You got John Cleese as Robin Hood. And I guess just I don't want to say the joke, but the scene is just, they stole a bunch of stuff from Napoleon. Robin Hood's like, hey, we don't give this to the poor, give it to this person, this person, this person. Kind of talk to them to push them away. And then pretty much says how much they suck. I just didn't really find that scene funny. the characters just, like I said, there's a lack of heart, and I just don't care about anybody. Well, I don't care about the title characters. The kid I didn't mind. Sean Connery, I wish was in it more. The rest of them I didn't really give a shit. Michael Palin, who was in A Fish Called Wanda, worked with Monty Python a lot, and Shelley Duvall. They appear from time to time as this couple. And I like Shelley Duvall, but pretty much other go, there's really not much else for her to do. And then when they're escaping in the Robin Hood era, these two portals open, and the kid clearly asks, which one should I go in? Just go, just go. So then the kid takes the left one, and the guy goes, not that one. The kid fucking asks which one to go in, dickhead. Instead of fucking blabbing for 5 fucking minutes about, oh, just go, man, just go. No, 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 not that one. Hell, that was done better in Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. Take these, man, take these. No, don't take those, man. I almost gave you the wrong shit. I already took them, man. Oh, wait a minute, oh, what was that, man? You just took the most acid I've ever seen someone take in my life. No, I never ever take acid, man. I remember those people that look like their head looked like a pumpkin, man. Just chill out, man. Just calm down, mellow. Yeah. Oh shit, I'm blind. He got his hat over and said, I'm blind. I can see clearly now. The rain. How long does this shit last? Sorry, I just went like trying to go 5 minutes in the Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke. Another favorite of mine. And that's where you get the stuff with Agamemnon. The kid inadvertently saves Sean Connery. I said this is spoilers, so beware. Sean Connery is able to kill this Minotaur, get its head, seen the praises. He doesn't see him, but you know, the praises of the kid. Looks like the kid's going to live with him. Kid's happy. These assholes take him away. They have a bit on the Titanic, which is just pretty much them lying about, smoking cigars. Then they're in the water. Then David Warner is evil. He's having fun with the role. He's ready to blast his henchmen whenever he can. Some of his dialogue, how obsessed he is with technology and microchips. And that's the future. And why did God spend so much time making so many parrots? Like, David Warner was having fun. It was nice to see David Warner let loose a little bit. He did work well as that character. Again, that's one of the pluses for me. And so our characters at one point meet an ogre. At one point meet the giant with the ship on his head, which is an interesting visual. I'll give you that. And I remember as a kid watching this and going, okay, let's see where this goes. This is even as a kid. And the ending just, I thought, sucked. Because Terry Gilliam loves his downbeat endings. He wanted to put in this. He loves his quirky endings. I know people love it. Cool. We have different tastes. I'm not saying you can never have that. I think John Carpenter has done that quite well in a lot of his movies. There's been other movies that if I said what movies they are, I would spoil what kind of endings they had. But there are movies I enjoyed. But this, I just don't think it fits. I think it's really, it took a movie that I wasn't, and really just brought it down the crapper. Because there's this whole battle with David Warner, but it doesn't matter because it's all for naught. Because David Warner easily takes all these guys out. It's like, oh, this bandit got these archers. And granted, it shows how powerful David Warner's character is. But then it's anticlimactic as all fuck, and that's the point. This supreme being, God, just goes and destroys David Warner. And then, well, just to test my handiwork, evil turned out well. And the kid's asking a legitimate question. Wait, you're saying all these people die? Why did they have to die? Why'd they have to die? And he literally walks out and then walks back as if someone don't... something to do with free will. So he's an asshole. Supreme Being is a fucking asshole. He's a goddamn asshole. He's the one that should be shot in the face. And then they don't let him come with them. The bandits, the time bandits abandon the fuck out of him. None of them stay with the kid. The Supreme Being abandons the fuck out of the kid. The time bandits fucked up, left a piece of evil. The kid goes back, and I know it's supposed to be, well, is it a dream? Well, it's not a dream. He's got the photo. And then, because I guess originally Sean Connery was going to be more of the ending, but then things didn't work out, and so they shot this one quick scene with him as a fireman, and he gives like a wink, as in what the fuck that has to do with anything, because this little rock blows up the parents, the house is burned down, so this kid that went on this journey and helped these bandits out, helped save them, helped think out of situations that these others were in danger. The time bandits are assholes because they abandoned a guy who saved them. Granted, it was all for naught because the Supreme Being was just this big fucking test anyway, so it didn't fucking matter. The Supreme Being said fuck you. The time bandits said fuck you. Sean Connery said fuck you. I'm a fireman, I give you a wink, I'm gonna go off. Tough titty kid. And now this kid is he's an orphan. He's a fucking orphan. He's going to be a fucking orphan in a bit because has no home. He's going to go to a house, and the house is going to fucking molest him, and going to be sucking dick for beer money. He's going to be a crackhead. He's going to be the type of crackhead you saw Chris Rock in New Jack City trying to suck dick for crack. And then people don't want his crack, a bunch of Victor Salvas, a bunch of fucking horny priests, and then he's going to be sucking dick for beer money, he's going to grow up, he's going to get AIDS, he's going to fucking shoot himself with a shotgun, he's going to be page 8 on an obituary, no one's going to be at his funeral because he's all fucking dead, and then the Supreme Being is going to be, and the time bandits, so... Great, the kid is an orphan. The kid's parents, yeah, they weren't that great of parents, but dying, because that's the joke, that's the funny, that's the laughs. Ain't that funny, ain't that ironic? Cue the Alanis Morissette song. I'm like, great, he got butt-fucked on TV, Dwayne, he's gonna... A bunch of crackheads gonna be searching for a different type of crack, and gonna find this kid, like, hey, you're so innocent, so naive, you think you're so smart? Smart on my dick! That's what's going to happen. He's going to be on the streets. They're going to kick his ass. Someone's going to kick the shit out of him. He's going to be a hermit. Fucking hell. That's the sequel to Time Bandits. It's this many years later, and he's a homeless crackhead, and the Time Bandits find him. Well, sadly... A lot of those time bandits have passed away. Yeah, a lot of these people have passed away, sadly. But I'm like, that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. And I'm not going to put rant in the title, not because, oh, I'm afraid. I'm saying I don't like it. But it's not a rage. Well, the ending's a rage. It's not a rage because I do find parts of merit to some of the actors like Sean Connery, David Warner, Ian Holm. I thought for the bits they worked fairly well. George Harrison's song at the end is not my favorite of his. I would say I prefer Cheer Down from Lethal Weapon 2. But it's not a bad song. Not a bad song at all. Again, some of the visual aesthetics that I mentioned before are nicely done. It's not boring. It goes at a fast pace. Maybe you'll get... Obviously, a lot of people got more laughs out of me. I just didn't find the film funny. I don't think it has much heart to it. The time bandits, I think, are unlikable characters. This kid got the rawest of deal. He got thrust into his adventure. And he got fucked over. He helped them out. They didn't help him out. They fucking... They completely fucked that kid over. And then everybody he knew died. And then Sean Connery was like, hey, fuck you, kid. Hey, kid. Go fuck yourself. I can't do Scottish. I can't even try. Hey, this is Sean Connery. You need to go fuck yourself, kid. Go fuck yourself. Get out of my way. Surprised the Sean Connery didn't just slap the kid. Might as well. And that's why I never... And I know, I think Nate said this is one of his favorite films, to each their own. I think this film, to be blunt, I think this film... I was literally going to say I think this film fucking sucks, but I just said at the beginning I don't think it's that bad of a movie. I think the more I talk about it, the less kind I'm being on it. Because I don't like the movie. Do I think it's a bad movie? No. I don't think it's a bad movie, but I think the movie fucking sucks. I don't know how else to put it. And my own taste in movies, what I look for in movies, in my opinion, it sucks. But yeah, do I think it's a bad movie? Legitimately, no. And at least in this case. In other cases, in other movies, yes. In this case, no. So, if people like it, cool. It's not for me. But it is what it is. So, with that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. Fucking... Yeah.